Allard.
Right now, we have lots of clouds and a little bit of wind, 64 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Ursula Royteen.
Listen live at mynorthwest.com. KIRO Radio 97.3 FM. News and talk, powered by the Pacific Northwest.
The Fastest 15, it's brought to you by IRG Physical and Hand Therapy. They allow us to bring this to you commercial-free. And this is our number 10.
It's time for the fastest 15 minutes in the news. This is Dori's Fastest 15.
Welcome to World of News in a tidy little 15-minute package just for you. Plus, we're also streaming on Facebook Live here this half hour. Welcome to our Fastest 15. So I wasn't here on Friday, and that Seahawk game Thursday night.
So good.
I got to talk about it for 3 hours right after the game.
I listened to a lot of your talk. It was so exciting.
Yeah, it really was. And then, but I was thinking, man, it was one of those days where I felt like I should be doing the show, but I'd planned this trip for a long time. Right. Because for my wife's birthday, we'd never seen the Eagles. And she really, really wanted to see them. And this might have been their last concert ever. They only did 3 dates in 2019, and they were all in Vegas, and this was the third and final. And there's a lot of whispers that it might be all over for them now. So I kind of, I got good seats for this.
Yeah.
Figure if we're going to go down, it's my wife's birthday.
I know, you really did a good job on her birthday, by the way.
Thanks.
Well, wasn't this for your birthday?
Well, it's for both of our birthdays, yeah.
Okay.
Because you also went to the other concert.
Went to Bob Seger, which she really wanted to see.
Yeah.
I'm quite a dish.
You are.
So anyway, but here, let me tell you a little bit about the weekend, though. So first of all, on Friday night, I went out to, my wife just wanted to go to bed, a decent hour. So about midnight, I don't know, 11, midnight, I think I'm going to go roll the bones for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe the most fun session of playing craps I've ever had in my life.
Where'd you go?
It's just at the MGM.
Okay.
But I won a lot.
Oh, my gosh.
But that's not why it was the most fun.
Well, that helps.
The guy standing next to me, Chad from Salt Lake City, we became buddies.
Uh-huh.
And you know me, I don't like talking to people.
I know, especially when you're playing craps.
Right. But I'm trying to get better at that.
That's so good.
So he and I start chit-chatting, and he's just a fantastically nice person.
Was he playing against? That's why you typically don't talk to people at the
he was just watching me,
table.
and I don't mind telling you, I had compiled a pretty decent stack of chips. And so he asked if I'd kind of help him along, and he started betting the way that I do too, which is against the table. And he starts winning, and I go, I want you to know it's not always like this. He goes, I don't care. I'm just having so much fun talking with you. And he goes, if I lose everything that's in my tray, and I think, well, that's the right attitude.
Yeah, if you go in with a certain amount that you're willing to lose and just you have a good time.
Yes.
Yeah.
So anyway, that was fun. And then I paid for the entire trip. Airfare, hotel, food, and ridiculous expensive concert tickets with that session of craps.
Oh man, that's so good. That's so good that you stopped at the right time
exactly,
too.
Yeah. And then here's
that never happens either.
Here's how good of friends Chad and I became. We're emailing each other late that night and the next day. And said, hey,
geez.
Are you playing tonight?
Oh, of course. He's like, I'm feeling good.
Again, that's not
got your
me.
email?
This never happens to me. Yeah. So anyway, that was fun. So then,
So you have a new buddy. That's cute.
Yeah. I know. It's adorable. And then the concert on Saturday night. And I told you an hour ago, and I'd hope that I'm not emotional now, but I cried through much of this concert.
But wasn't it like crying out of happiness?
Yes.
It was just so powerful.
Yeah.
No.
Oh.
What it was, let me give you a little example here. So, like when this song, well, First they did the whole Hotel California album.
Oh, yeah.
And then they took a little break, and then they did their greatest hits, and it was about 3.5 hours. In fact, I was going to ask you to pull some Joe Walsh clips from our interview with him, because it was like a 3-hour guitar virtuoso class by Joe Walsh, who we had on the show about a year ago, and he was just a fantastic guest, and I just really loved having him on. But it was me thinking about my life. So, for example, I remember this song vividly because I was about 10 years old. And I was and this sounds freakish, but I was the statistician for the Ballard High School basketball team.
No, it's cute.
When I was 10.
Uh-huh.
And so I would always find a way to get to school to go to the games. And then the coach, Joe Bullock, he would drive me home after the games. And I thought Joe was the coolest cat on earth. He was an African-American guy, had a nice big fro, and he would wear these loud plaid suits. And I just thought he was the coolest person. Now, you could never do that today.
No.
You could never have a school employee drive a child home in his car. But back then, we didn't think anything of it. And this song, I vividly remembered hearing in Joe Bullock's Firebird. And then as we went through it, then we got, the one I just played. Here, let's do this one. This one, I'm 16 years old, just got my Duster, my 72 Duster.
Okay, that sounds freakish.
Had a great sound system in it.
I love it.
And I just remember singing to the top of my lungs and dreaming about a future. And so that's why I was so emotional. I thought, at some point, I would think that I'd become a little jaded, but I don't take 1 second of my life for granted. That it just reminded me of, where I came from, and that I was able to go and do something like this. And then this one, Ursula. Remember my biggest on-air breakdown ever? Because this reminded me of when my girls were moving out of the house.
This is too much.
I know. I'm going to make you cry instead of myself here.
Yep.
So Don Henley did this, and but it was 3.5 hours, and usually by the 2-hour mark, I'm ready to go.
But those are all the songs that that's the best kind of concert.
Yeah, it really was.
Every song that that has a special memory in your heart.
Yeah, so it was really fantastic. So it's happy we were able to do that, and they put on a great show. And a couple other things. Anyone
standing in front of you?
Nobody stood. Well, there wasn't anybody in front of us.
Oh, man.
Nice.
One day.
Did you touch him?
No, what?
Did you touch him?
No. I was just off to the side, the first section on the side there. But there were people because the aisle was angled, and there was one row in front of us. And it was just this stunning woman and her husband. And she would spontaneously stand up, and she would turn around and say, "I'm not going to do this for long." Well, she would give a standing ovation, and then she'd sit right back down. And everybody was sitting for the 3.5 hours. That's the way you're supposed to watch a concert.
Really?
Yeah.
The whole audience sat.
Well,
the time.
everybody stood for the
brother.
encore. You can't stand. You understand? All these people are my age at this show.
I cannot imagine standing during or sitting down during Hotel California.
You cannot stand for 3.5 hours.
But you can stand for some of the songs.
No, you give a standing O, and then you sit down and enjoy the next song. And nobody was standing. The people on the floor weren't standing. Nobody was standing.
Like
you would not know, though. You were in the front.
It was my...
Are you sure you just didn't notice they were standing?
Nobody was standing. It was my dream concert. Everybody was too old to stand.
And you also didn't notice that everyone had their cameras out because, again...
No, and nobody was recording.
Oh, that's not...
There's no way.
I didn't see one person until the encore.
You weren't looking behind you during
Yes,
the
I
song.
was. I did, and they were very specific. Pictures and video explicitly prohibited. And
if they said that, then they might have...
And they made it sound like if you take a picture or record, we're going to kick you out. Okay. I literally didn't see one person recording it. And then for the encore, they did. Then everybody pulled out their cameras. And it was perfect.
I I hope it's not their last concert because now I want to go.
Yeah, you should go see it. But I'm telling you, Joe Walsh. I want to get Joe back on the show really bad.
We talked about this earlier, but we had another favorite guest. But Joe's probably our second favorite.
He was
in the last few years.
Well, yeah, because he gave me like a 10-minute dissertation on how Hotel California came together.
That was fun.
He got so granular.
I did put one cut in there. I love the way he ended it. Remember?
Oh, he was really nice to me, and then he said he wants. Okay, here's how the Joe Walsh interview ended. It's a treat for me to have you on my radio show.
Well, look, buddy, I don't agree with you on everything, but I love your take. You keep going.
Okay. Oh, I wish we had
It's important that you're on the air.
I wish we had time to talk about the stuff you disagree on. I could set you straight, Joe.
Well, that's a whole nother story.
Okay. So let's get him back on,
and
we'll just talk politics.
Nah.
I like him talking about songs better.
I do too. What do you mean? Every time I do an interview,
I know,
you say,
I want the cut.
get something that'll go viral.
Yeah, I do want that.
Yeah. That's their directive to me before every interview.
Most of them.
Get him to say something about Trump.
Yep.
Yeah.
Every time.
Who said the Trumps? Oh, Tom Arnold.
Yep.
Tom Arnold. We went viral with that. And then we had one other. Somebody who said something about Trump on our show.
Yeah.
I don't remember. Anyway.
I don't remember either.
Did you get to all the news here?
Yes, sure, man.
Okay. There's fire in Ballard. It's the breaking news. Up to a 3-alarm fire. I know that block very, very well there on 24th
Me
and
too.
Market. Yeah.
Right next to my favorite pho restaurant.
Oh,
Pho
man.
Big Bowl.
Well, and the La Isla is a great restaurant. It's very popular.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm just thinking about all these businesses that are affected. They don't have any idea how this thing started.
No. I mean, it'll be a while.
Yeah, so, I mean, there's so much street problems in Ballard, but we have no idea what the cause of this fire
It definitely looks like the kitchen area of the La Isla. Like, it's in the back of the building.
Didn't you tell me that that restaurant is closed today?
Yeah, but it was
supposed
open
to be
last
closed.
night.
Yeah, it's supposed to be closed. There's also a Kitchen and Things store, Supercuts.
I can't
It's a
believe
strip mall.
Kitchen and Things is still there.
I know.
That was there when I was a kid.
It's a great shop.
That's an unbelievable success story. So I feel bad for all those business owners. Okay, next up in the Fastest 15, sometimes I see a news story, and I wonder, how is this news? So this is one of those. This is one that's going viral today. So a high school girl down in Tampa, Florida, she went to her homecoming dance, and the dress code for this dance was explicit and in writing. Boys have to wear a button collar shirt and a tie, and the girls have to wear semi-formal dresses. I mean, there was nothing ambiguous. So this girl goes, and she wore a jumpsuit, and it looked nice. It was a pantsuit jumpsuit, but it was in violation of the dress code. And so now her mom posts on Facebook how upset she and her daughter are that she wasn't allowed to get into the dance. And somehow this goes viral. And I was thinking, a few years ago, if a kid showed up in violation of the dress code, they just get kicked out and nothing goes viral. Parents didn't have social media to go complain on. The legitimate so-called media didn't pick up these stories. Her name's Darcy Kruger.
I already had this in the closet, and I was like, well, hey, this could totally work.
And she didn't know she had or couldn't wear pantsuits.
Didn't specify that jumpsuits for ladies were not allowed. Her outfit would be considered semi-formal. She's got it all dressed up, and she's modest.
That's her mom. But, how's that a story? A kid violates a written dress code, and now we're supposed to feel sorry for her? And her mom, her mom's so proud of her.
She didn't let it get to her self-worth and her dignity. She didn't let it, tear her down.
Oh, shut up.
Well, how did it become a story? Because shows like ours are bringing it up.
I'm not running the story with a sympathetic tone towards the mom and the girl. I just want to expose how ridiculous the media is. She violates the dress code, and mom's so proud of her. Oh, yes, what a crusader the daughter is, wearing pantsuits. Okay, next up in the Fastest 15. So, did this audio, was this out on Friday, or did this happen after the show on Friday?
I think it was out on Friday.
So AOC, she was doing, man, this is hilarious. And a woman decides to troll her. There's a young woman who's at the AOC, some public forum.
I'm not going to be here for much long because of the climate crisis. We only have a few months left. I love that you support the Green Deal, but it's not getting rid of fossil fuel. It's not going to solve the problem fast enough. A Swedish professor saying, we can eat dead people, but that's not fast enough. So I think your next campaign slogan has to be this: we got to start eating babies. We don't have enough time. There's too much CO2. All of you.
Okay, so now she takes off her
Was
overshirt.
she for real?
No, but this is what's hilarious. So AOC's looking at her and kind of nodding in agreement. And she can't say, eat the babies. Shut up. Get out of here. She can't say that because she doesn't sound that much wackier than the other people who show up at the AOC public meetings. This is just an awesome bit of trolling.
No, you're a pollutant. Too much CO2. We have to start now, please. You are so great. I'm so happy that you're really supporting the Green Deal, but it's not enough. Even if we would bomb Russia, we still have too many people, too much pollution. So we have to get rid of the babies. That's a big problem. Just stopping having babies is not enough. We need to eat the babies, and this is very serious. Please give a response.
Thank you. No, thank you.
It's AOC. Oh, thank you. It's just fantastic. It just exposes how whack job her followers are. And then there's this. This is another pretty interesting bit of trolling. In a city back east, somebody is posting signs, flyers, that simply say, Islam is right about women. And everybody in town is upset about this.
They don't even know what it means.
Sign itself is confusing. It's subject to interpretation.
I really don't know because everybody has their own opinion, and I respect it. Mm-hmm. Everybody's entitled to say whatever they want.
I tore the first one down, and then when I saw a second one, I decided to bring it to the police department here.
I think that putting signs up that make people feel uncomfortable is unfortunate, particularly in this time and age.
How does that make people feel uncomfortable? It says Islam is right about women. Now, is the person who put up the signs, are they trolling Islam? Are they trolling women? But the fact is nobody even knows who to be upset at, because saying a religion is right about one of its core fundamental beliefs, and it's an inescapable fact that women are, second-class citizens in Islam, and saying that, if you truly believe Islam's right about women, then you're praising the religion. And, they even talked to a cop there.
I asked the cop, if you caught me posting a sign like that on one of these poles, would you arrest me? The officer said it's complicated. Technically, it's illegal to post signs like that, any signs on street poles, but it's hard to enforce. And because of freedom of speech and because that post wasn't threatening, it'd be similar to posting a photo of your missing cat.
And so between the AOC, we've got to eat the children, and the Islam is right about women's signs, there's been some really clever bits of trolling taking place the last couple of days. And that is your Fastest 15.
This has been the Fastest 15 Minutes in the News. Fast. Dori's Fastest 15.
Give us 15 minutes, we'll give you the word. Coming up next, I got a bunch of other stuff. Beautiful Alex Trebek interview, and it is clear that he soon is going to have to quit hosting Jeopardy because he pretty much acknowledges that the fight of his life is nearing an end. But what a beautiful way he's approaching all of this, and we'll share that with you and lots more straight ahead here on The Dori Monson Show. This hour of The Dori Monson Show is